Pollard, Joy Martin here, and we have the great opportunity to have Captain Jeffery Rice.
Hello.
Part of the commander of the North Precinct Police Department in Huntsville, Alabama, and
That's
I'm
right.
going to clap for you right now because we appreciate you being here with us. If you didn't see our first episode with him, go back and look at that, and then come back and look at this one. This one is going to be about how to be safe out and about when you get in your car or you walk from your house out to other places. The first one was about how to be safe within your own home environment. And just so you know, before I forget, because I might forget, in the first episode we talked about that app that you can get on with other neighbors. It's called Nextdoor app, and you have to be invited in. I think somebody has to start that.
That's correct.
Okay, help me out. Tell me
So someone
more.
who starts on the Nextdoor app, and then you are invited to join the group in the neighborhood. So, and that group, now we do not monitor the Nextdoor app, okay, but that's a way for neighbors to pass information along to one another.
Yeah.
But it's incumbent upon the neighbors to reach out to your local police department and to let them know what's going on in your neighborhood. But we do not, here in the city of Huntsville, monitor everyone's Nextdoor apps because there's hundreds of them for the different neighborhoods.
Sure. And ours actually is connected. There's some Huntsville police officer that either the person who started the group puts different things and helps warn us or remind us or let us know things that are going on in the neighborhood or even good community.
And that's Lieutenant Michael Johnson. He's our public information officer. And so he will push information out to your Nextdoor app, okay? But we do not monitor to say, okay, there's suspicious activity, so forth and so on. So you would still need to give us a call, let us respond to that call for service. But Lieutenant Johnson faithfully pushed that information out to the community to let you know what's going on.
Thank you, Lieutenant Johnson.
Yes,
We just want to
exactly.
say kudos to you.
Yes.
We appreciate that. Okay, how to be safe out and about. Okay, let me tell you about an example. A friend of mine, I told her we were doing this today. She said, okay, this just happened to me. Just ask him this. You know how that goes. You know, she said, I was getting out of my car and it was at night. She was going from her car to a store or the gym, I can't remember what. And some man approached her and asked her for money. And she thought, you know, her assumption was maybe it was a homeless guy, but it may not have been. So that's neither here nor there, really. She said she's not so much just afraid of, you know, our homeless population in our city, but this particular thing weirded her out just a little bit. And there was another guy somewhere else, okay? In that scenario, what should she do?
So let's totally rewind that scenario.
Okay.
The first thing is always try to park your vehicle in well-lit areas.
Yes.
Try to walk in with a group of people, okay? Also, let somebody know where you're going,
Okay.
And do not engage in conversation with strangers.
Okay.
It's okay to speak, make eye contact, but keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Angela out there, you know who you are. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
And also, okay, so here's another scenario. There was a lady that I met, and she went to Walmart early in the morning. And she said that two people started racing towards her in a car.
Good
Female was
grief.
driving the car. The man jumped out and started chasing her. And so she ran to her car, you know, scrambled for her keys and got in. And then he ended up running back to the car. So,
mercy.
Wow.
You know, and she was an older lady, so it just totally freaked her out and she was afraid and whatnot. But this was early in the morning.
Sure.
So, you know, her example was at nighttime. This is early in the morning. Same thing.
So when you speak of early in the morning, you know, morning starts at 12 a.m.
Okay, so
So
we're
are we talking about the
talking
wee hours of the morning, or are we talking about
like 7 in the morning?
Okay, so same thing, you know, try not to set yourself up to be a victim.
Right.
Try to walk in with a group of people. Park as close as you can to the building. Before you get out of your vehicle, check your surroundings.
Right.
Okay, you know,
She's good at that.
you know, look around. It's okay to look around, and it's okay to look at people.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Let them know that you saw them.
Yes.
You're looking at them.
Yes.
And luckily she was able to get back to her vehicle and whatnot. But still, you know, you want to walk in with a group of people, park as close to the building as you can. And again, always let somebody know where you're going. I understand, we want privacy and so forth and so on. But should something occur, should something happen to you, at least we'll have a breadcrumb to start from. Where was she going? Who was she with? So forth and so on. Right. We just have to be smart and take care of ourselves.
Okay. So park in well-lit areas. Now my mama always taught me to park in under the big lights in the parking lot, always.
And sometimes that's not available, but you still have to check out your surroundings. I'm always looking around. My husband says I walk hard, so I don't know what that means, but I look people in the eye and I check people out. And she and I have been out and about. We were at Starbucks the other day, and there was this guy sitting there, and I just watched him the whole time. And Joy was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "This guy looks suspicious." So she's like, "Oh, I didn't even notice him." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'm listening to hear how hard he's slamming the bathroom door. I'm listening to hear how other people are closing the bathroom door, because I'm like, okay, is that going to tell me something?
Gracious.
So
you teaching me. Okay, you may not know this. A little tidbit, little information. She wanted to be a police officer when she grew up.
Okay.
She was out in California, and that's where she was going. But she ended up being a social worker, right?
Yes, I got the best of both worlds.
Helping people.
That's right.
That's what we do. We help people.
Yeah.
And somewhere, in some shape, form, or fashion, in your interview, you said, "I want to help people."
That's right.
You did.
I did.
You did. Whatever canned answer you gave,
That's right.
it came back to you
That's
said
right.
you wanted to help people.
That's right.
So let me give you some tidbits about
Do it.
what to do if you're pulled over.
Okay.
So the first thing you want to do, you want to safely pull to the right-hand side of the road. So if you're on the interstate, don't pull to that left median next to the brick wall where the cars are still passing about 80, 90 miles per hour. That's not safe for anybody.
Okay.
So please, just pull to the right-hand side of the roadway, off the road, okay? If you don't feel comfortable, pull to a well-lit area. Now, some areas may not be well-lit, but pull to a well-lit area. Now, if you really don't feel comfortable, you can drive a little bit, but don't increase your speed, because when you look back there, you saw one police officer. You increase your speed, you might see 2 or 3 behind. But you do want to pull to well-lit areas and remain inside of your vehicle.
Okay.
Don't jump out and say, "Hey, I'm getting my wallet."
Oh
no.
Okay.
That's not the move.
Remain inside of your vehicle.
Right.
Okay. You can let your windows down and keep your hands on the steering wheel.
Okay. Gotcha.
The officer will come up. The officer should introduce themselves. Hi, I'm Officer such and such with whatever police department. Normally that's the way we teach it here in Huntsville. And they'll tell you the reason that you've been stopped. And they'll ask you for your credentials, your driver's license and your insurance and so forth and so on. If your driver's license and your registration is normally kept in your glove compartment, let the officer know that. If you have a weapon in the vehicle, let the officer know that you have a weapon in the vehicle. But don't just start grabbing and moving from things, going under your seat, so forth and so on. Make sure that you get permission from the officer to move. Again, you can cut your light on on the inside of your car, because officers don't know who they're pulling over, especially at night. Even in the daytime, you don't know who you're pulling over. So put yourself in that position, okay? If the officer's rude with you, on the side of the road is not the place to handle that complaint. Comply with what the officer asks you to do. You can always complain later, but make it through that stop, that interaction between the officer, and then you can complain later. And again, communicate your actions to the officer before you just make moves inside of that vehicle and whatnot. So that's what you should do, when you're pulled over, and be polite. Oftentimes, your attitude in life, period, your attitude determines your altitude. And so if you're nice and polite and kind, then you might just catch a break, okay? But if you're not so nice and kind, there's a possibility that, you might, get a ticket. And even if you are nice, you might still be given a ticket. But tickets are not given to raise revenue. Tickets are given to change drivers' behaviors, okay? We want you to make it back to your family. We want you to make it home, or whatever your destination is. We want you to make it there safely. And so that's why we're performing that traffic stop.
Gotcha. Oh, that's a very good word. Okay. Anything else? Okay, let me just ask you this one question. Taking a walk on a greenway. I love to take walks. I try, and I take walks in my neighborhood. I live in the 35805 neighborhood. Walk around there. Sometimes I go to a greenway. Either one of those places. Tell me, somebody comes out and grabs me. What do I do?
Well, you should fight.
Pray.
You should fight. You should fight.
Okay.
You know, make sure that you're scratching. You're doing everything that you can. When you scratch a person's skin, you get DNA.
Right.
Okay.
But you do anything that you can to defend yourself. While you're walking, make sure you walk with a stick.
Okay.
You know, it might not just be a human that might step out in front of you. It could be an animal come out of the woods. It could be anything. So have something that you can defend yourself with.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right. We got it. Is that anything else on this one?
No. Then we're going to close out this segment, and the next segment we're going to come to is how to talk with our children and just prepare them for being cautious, safe, and just keeping them, keeping them in their well-being. So we'll see you in the